Greetings, friends, and welcome to our second review in the mid-2018 video review series. Today I've got another Lonsdale, and if you've seen the first review that I did yesterday, the Monte Cristo #1, you'd know that any other Lonsdale that I could possibly have a Cervantes size, 42 ring gauge by 165 millimeters, would be deleted, and this one has been long deleted. It's a Rafael Gonzalez Lonsdale. From 2000. I just wanted to thank iPats for gifting this to me. Mate, I'm doing this review as a thanks for gifting me this cigar. It's a SUA June 2000 cigar, so it's been resting now for 18 years. I'm going to go ahead and light it up. While I'm lighting it up, I could just talk a little bit about Rafael Gonzalez. Rafael Gonzalez, not a very commonly well-known brand, except for us that are Cuban cigar enthusiasts. The average person wouldn't know if a Rafael Gonzalez brand, or if it's Cuban or not. They probably would know Kiva, Monte Cristo, Pardias, H. Upmann, those the main global brands, but not one of these ones, a local brand with not too many cigars within the market. Just going to light it a little bit more. And my experience with Rafael Gonzalez is that they're very much on the milder side. I guess they're one of the mildest, together with like El Rey de Mundo, Hoya de Monterrey. They're more on the lighter side in terms of strength. When I smoke a Rafael Gonzalez cigar, the main one I've smoked is Perlas, which I just think they're fantastic. Small cigar. Basically, what I get out of them is a type of cocoa flavor. The main flavor is cocoa, a bit of floral, a floral element to it, and a bit of like a honey sweetness. That's what I look for and what I enjoy. Sometimes when I reach for a Rafael Gonzalez cigar, if I try to let them age a little bit, because I find that as they age, they get a nice baking spice to it, a really pleasant baking spice that you can get out of aged cigars. So when I had this cigar before I lit it up, I'm getting pretty much the same flavour I'm getting out of it that I had on the cold draw, and that was a floral, definitely a floral flavour to it, combined with a spiced element, like the baking spice I mentioned, along its core. They're the main two flavours I'm getting. Not picking up so much on the cocoa, or other people might call it cocoa or coffee, that you might get in a younger Rafael Gonzalez. Then again, we need to reflect on the fact that the cigar is 18 years old, and in that time frame, blends can change. And certainly they do. So if you find yourself smoking prodigiously one marker or two markers, you'll know yourself that over time, a cigar that you're inclined to reach for, the blend of flavour of it can change from time to time. Whether it goes from milder or stronger, or mild to stronger, or if it's stronger to lighter, or just the flavour change, if there's more difference in adding Ligero leaf or different quality of Seco leaf in the cigar. I guess I'm just trying to look for some adjectives to describe exactly what I'm smoking. It's interesting because it has qualities of refinement of age, but then again, I am surprised by the intensity of the spice. So there's that duality there. You got that floralness that, to me, signifies its the fact that it's aged, and its spice, which I would get from and spice and intensity, which I would expect from a cigar that's a bit younger. So yeah, it's interesting. What I'll do is I'll smoke down on this cigar, and I'll come back when we get to the second third and give you some more thoughts. Well, now I'm into the well and truly into the second third. Just a couple of things I can tell you about this cigar while I was smoking through it. The way that it was rolled, it followed the roll of the leaf, and one side was burning more quickly than the other side. But I let it correct itself. I'm more inclined to do that. When I first was getting into Cuban cigars, when I had a cigar and one side was burning less quickly than the other side, I would get my lighter out and correct it, and that would char the wrapper, and you'd have that charred flavour for a few puffs after that. As I've got more experience, I've tended to let the burn line try to repair itself, and you can see that's pretty good right now. So I'm glad it corrected itself. To me, that's a sign of a good, a well-constructed cigar. In regards to the flavour, it hasn't evolved too much at all in regards to strength. It stayed pretty much the same, and the two main flavours I'm getting out of the floralness and the baking spice is still there. It's okay. I am conscious of the fact that if you know your history in regards to Cuban cigar production, I believe 1999, 2000, 2001, around that time, Tabacuba made a lot of changes to the way they did their blends with their cigars, and that was a tumultuous time for the production. And cigars from that time can be known to not be as good as cigars of a later period, later on in the mid 2000s. But I wouldn't say that this cigar is necessarily blended incorrectly or it's problematic. Not in the least. But I would say, just for my personal taste, would have been interested to have had a box of these and had smoked through them. I wonder if it's just gone past its peak. It's still definitely smokable, but that's one of the joys of smoking cigars is you go through a box, go through a few, let it rest 6-12 months, let it rest another 12 months, 2 years, see how they develop, see where the peak period is in its development. Every cigar is different, every box is different. And folks, no one can tell you at what point the optimum flavour is in a cigar. But if I had a box of these, I would have been interested to know at what point could I have got cocoa and coffee, a bit more cocoa and coffee out of it. And I guess I'm comparing them to Pearl box that I'm going through at the moment. It's already 3 and a bit years old. And I think I've still got about 5 or 6 of them left, and I'm going to keep them and smoke them again 6-12 months, maybe a couple of years. But iPads, I'm grateful for this cigar, mate. Thank you very, very much. Can't say I'm ever going to have a Rafael Gonzalez Lonsdale, and many of you watching may say the same thing. But some of you that have had them and regularly, and I'm thinking of Pigfish. Yeah, I'm like you. I've no idea why Lonsdales have been so. What's the word I'm looking for? I guess the word I'm looking for is catastrophically wiped out, deleted. Concerted effort by Tabacuba Habana Society to get rid of them. It's a shame. Because I do love that 42 ring gauge. I just think it's the best smoke experience for me. One of the other things I wanted to say before I close the review, I had a quick look, quick comparison with my Monte Cristo number ones that I have, and I put them side to side. The interesting thing is that I noticed was that the Monte Cristo number one was just a little bit, just a tad longer, maybe a little bit, in terms of its diameter, was a little bit bigger also. And I thought that would be the case, and the reason for that is because as you age cigars, the water content over time, I guess, dries out and the cigar shrinks, and that's why you find that your bands are much easier to slide off. So if you remember from the first review, my Monte Cristo number one band, I didn't even bother to take it off, but this one I'm sliding off much more easily, and it's intact. It hasn't damaged the wrapper at all. There's that old Rafael Gonzalez band from that time. It's interesting, the Rafael Gonzalez band is one of the few bands around that Habana Sose haven't embossed in some way or spruiked up, brightened it up. I don't mind these old type of bands. Bit of sentimentality for it for me. They're just simple, you know what I'm saying? The ash has been pretty good on it, so that hasn't even looked like it's going to drop off. So construction-wise, it's been okay, apart from the fact that it had a half an inch disparity in its burn midway through the second third. It's been quite good. I'll be very grateful to smoke this. Anyway, I look forward to the next review in the video series. Another more uncommon cigar. See how it turns out. Until that time, I look forward to seeing you then. And happy smoking.